welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, the day before the 4th of July. This is going to be a brace yourself for this episode. We actually might get canceled after this one. We've been tiptoeing the line, but we might after this one. Todd's here. Saturday was quite the evening for him.
Yes, fun time.
Shout out to JP and his party. We got a first too. We got a studio audience. Well, a one member studio audience. Coach Mack is up in here. Lynn English girls representing. You guys can't see him, but he's here. Woo! He's way back there. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Pedro's back there too, just laughing at us. All right, so. So we're gonna get right into it with some NBA free agency. This whole show is NBA free agency. So if you like FIFA, baseball, NFL, this week we're just not covering it. We're talking free agency, and the Celtics went from one miserable superstar to someone who actually wants to be here. And they signed Kemba Walker, and I think if you follow me on Facebook, people think I don't like Kemba Walker. I was just saying there's not that much of a difference, but happiness makes a difference. So bringing a guy 25 points per game last season, career high, I think this is going to be a good fit.
Yeah, I like it. Coming off a great season, I feel like he's going to do the same next year just because he's figured it out. And we know you're partial to Kyrie because Kyrie is a great, you know what I mean? He's a star. I wouldn't say superstar, but he's definitely an all-star in the league.
Just miserable.
Yeah, he does come off like he just hates life, which he shouldn't because he's pretty successful and doing well with it. But, man, Kemba, I've always been a fan of Kemba. Him going to UConn, we were able to see him a lot. Just, him being that close in Connecticut. Yeah. So I think he's going to love it here. And he said, this is like a dream of his, one of his dreams. So I think he's going to make the best of it.
And he's actually, I'm not saying that Charlotte wasn't, they didn't surround him with anything. He's actually surrounded by talent. He's surrounded by guys who can actually take the load off him because, in Charlotte, he was doing everything. His usage rates was one of the highest in the league. And, when you got young guys on the team, and then, I'm no fan of anybody that drafted Frank Kaminsky. I never liked that goofy guy, goofy-looking dude. So you do that, and going from Frank Kaminsky to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I think is quite the upgrade.
Yeah, and also like Kemba, just because outside the court, the locker room, great locker room guy. And for him to do what he did, playing with the Hornets for so long, and not really hearing a complain, the media, not bashing his teammates, just playing basketball and being appreciative with the opportunity he has. Him going to the Celtics, probably be a load off his back.
Yeah,
I want to say breath of fresh air.
$141 million, and he's coming off being named third team All NBA. So he had a career year last year, and the Celtics also made some other moves. They signed some big men. They signed Enes Kanter to a 2-year deal, $10 million. They signed Daniel Tice to a 2-year, $10 million deal, and they signed Vincent. I ain't gonna say his name. A Frenchman.
Oh, they actually signed him?
The Frenchman. They signed him to a minimal deal. I can't even pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I seen the article online, and I sent you the link. Honestly, he's real athletic. He kind of plays like a 4. He's real bouncy. Yeah. So he has a real pep in his step. So I think he's totally different than the Frenchman we've seen in the past.
But, I just hope he ain't gonna be crying like that other Frenchman in Utah. If he don't get no accolades, I just hope he don't go in a press conference crying. I should be a star. A Pippi LePew looking guy.
Oh man, it is dude.
Also, he had 10 points, 7 rebounds in the Spanish league, and Daniel Tice, although he played minimum minutes, like 14 minutes per game, but he shot 38% from the 3-point line. And then Enes Kanter, he's got game, he just can't play a lick of defense. Yeah. He's what you call a telephone pole on defense.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, definitely, but offensively, he's got skill.
It's like each one of them brings something different to the game because the guy from France, he's more of a pick and roll guy. He doesn't pop that much, but he can shoot it. Mm-hmm. So they all just bring different. Enes Kanter, like I said, you need instant offense from a big. Put Enes in there. Hopefully he can get you a couple stops or at least play some tough defense. Yeah,
do that. And Robert Williams too. I think he's gonna have an opportunity to showcase his talent because that dude.
Is that the long dude that be getting all the weird blocks?
The Time Lord.
Yeah.
The Time Lord. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And you got Taco Fouls. I don't know if he's gonna make the team.
Honestly, he better make the team just because he's 7'3", and he just takes up space. And you only need him for a couple minutes a game.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, get the boy a chance.
Yeah, so that was one thing I was worried about them is how they're going to address the front court. But it seems like they haven't. And then Grant Williams, they said he's going to make progress. I think they start Summer League soon. I think they start their Summer League.
Well, I know Summer League already started.
Yeah, it already started.
I don't know when theirs actually starts. But.
Yeah, don't know when their first game is. So, and they're bringing back Brad Wanamaker, 1-year deal. He's a good guy off the bench. Played overseas, played at Pitt. He's got a lot of experience. So, right now, maybe this is the type of team that Brad Stevens can coach. A team that doesn't like a superstar a star like that, because it seems like these are the type of players that he can coach and deal with, personality-wise.
And yeah, that too. And the players have to just look in the mirror and check their egos at the door, before they come to practice. Like, just gotta check their egos, because you had success 2 years ago, and the guys that were role players, they felt that they should have got more time, which everybody else in the U.S. felt they probably should have got more time, but due to who you signed the year before that, you had to work around that. So you got rid of some of the guys that they might have had some bad blood towards Brad Stevens based on playing time, but not personal. But you get rid of some of those guys and then bring in some new talent and new fresh blood, and it should be fine.
Yeah, and then the same Gordon Hayward, he's actually dropping weight, looking leaner. I didn't expect much from Gordon Hayward last season, but he was so up and down. But I think this year, I think he's going to be more consistent this year, just because he's fully recovered now.
Yeah, like fractures really takes you like a full year to heal. Like, you might be able to play, but you're not fully there yet, just with strength and your ligaments and all that, because you have to continue to strengthen your ankle.
Yeah.
And we're such one of the hottest critics in in the U.S., Boston, Massachusetts, New England. Man, let's get the guy a shot, man. Like, to be honest, like.
Yeah, and he was rehabbing all last season too while he was playing. So
we're awful critics. I'm sorry, we're too hot on certain players sometimes about everything.
When you sign big contracts, it's like, and then people forget the obstacles that you go through after coming through an injury. But I think they'll be fine next year. They'll be fine. I want to see how the rest of the East looks, but I think the Celtics will still be in that top 3, top 4 slot next season.
One thing I will say, Brad Stevens is good at coaching less talented. Not saying they're not talented, but less talented players. Superstars don't really work well with Brad so far, for what we see.
Yeah, that's why he got the most out of Isaiah Thomas. One, he already had some added motivation just because he was the last pick in the draft, and then he became a journeyman. A lot of teams gave up on him, and it was easier.
Believes in you.
Yeah,
once the guy that believes in you gives you the keys to the whip.
Yeah,
it's time to go.
All right, from one Celtic signing to a Celtic departure, Terry Rozier, they got him with the sign and trade to Charlotte. I think Charlotte picked up a good player. They signed him to a 3-year, $58 million deal. With losing Kemba, they needed somebody to, take up the load. I think he's shown that he can try to carry a team or try to lead a team, just because of the year before what he did during the playoffs and this year circumstances wise. I think this was a good move for the Hornets, but it's just surrounding pieces. Him and Miles Bridges, I think, will work well together. But I'm
happy for Terry. He's getting that starting position, that starting opportunity. I feel bad that he has to follow up behind Kemba. That's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do fine. Like, they're different types of point guards, but he's definitely showed that he could play. At a high level. And
I'm looking at this. The Hornets roster. Dwayne Bacon, he's got game. Nicholas Batum, I don't even know if he's gonna still be there. Miles Bridges, Devontae Graham, Cody Zeller, P.J. Washington, Malik Monk. They got some guys, but
it's a lot of youth.
Yeah,
a lot of youth. Not much experience on that roster, so they're probably gonna be where they have been.
Yeah.
The next couple of years.
Well, sucks for them, but hey, that's what happens when you don't. They never pay their players anyway. So. Come on, MJ, cut the check. Cut the check, Jordan.
Run into him in a couple months. I ain't trying to say too much.
Oh, well, tell him I said cut the check. Cut us a check, too. We need a sponsor. Yo, Jordan, we need a sponsorship. We could call this the Jumpman Studio if you hook us up. Holla at us. Get you them dollars. All right, other news. The biggest signing so far has been the Brooklyn Nets. They've been making waves. They've taken the top spot in New York City basketball, but, it was there for the taking for a long time. People just, were just clamoring to the Knicks for.
I thought the Rucker had the top spot in basketball.
I think it was the Rucker and Dyckman Park.
Dyckman, and then went to Knicks, and then Brooklyn. Brooklyn just jumped over everybody now.
Yeah, so they got
Makes
to.
sense.
I like what they did, Brooklyn. So they signed Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. They also signed DeAndre Jordan and Garrett Temple. So they got some pieces, but Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, those were big signings.
I mean, yeah, I'm happy that Irving's happy, which is rare.
Let's hope.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed happy, being back home. You don't want to play with anybody better than. I mean, you want to play with a team that is hometown team, basically. Yeah. More than any other team, I would think, just because, just the camaraderie, people, your family's able to come see you, shorter distances, you're able to just help more people out. Yeah. And, just more support. KD, we all knew he was leaving for some odd reason. Yeah. And then they say the little argument or, debate they had, the game, him and with Draymond, the whole, we won without you, leave, whatever, might have came into effect. I doubt it. But at the end of the day, KD knew what he was doing when he came to them. So
yeah, he probably was tired of Draymond's antics. That's what when that happened. I'm like, he's probably tired of Draymond's antics. He got too many. He does too much. He does the most. Draymond does the most, and it's like when you do stuff like that or say stuff like that, especially when y'all going into overtime, it's like, is that how you really felt all this time? Like, come on now.
Yeah, but then you got some superstars that are content with winning championships, and they want to be the reason why they won a championship. And Kawhi showed that he was the reason why they won the championship. I think KD wants to be looked at in that same light, which most superstars do.
Yeah, also helped that Kawhi went to a team that's been sorry in the whole season.
Definitely.
In the whole season before he got there. But if you look at another roster we should look at, they got a nice young roster. Jared Allen, 21, he doesn't need to score at all. All he's gonna be there for defense. Spencer Dinwiddie, he's been solid. Joe Harris, he can shoot the ball, and they got Taurean Prince and Garrett Temple. So they put together a good nucleus core of players.
They got well balanced. They got scorers, they got shooters, they got guys that can take over the game. You know what I mean? They're just well balanced. And they got a big. They got a solid big. That's coming into his own.
And he's all you can do is throw lobs to him. And also, if you look at it, you got two All-NBA players, and they're gonna carry the team offensively, but it's going to open up stuff a whole lot for Spencer Dinwiddie and all those Joe Harris especially. I think he's going to benefit the most from having those two on the team.
Yeah, when I said shooter, I was talking about him because he can light that thing up. Yeah. Joe's nice.
Yeah. So, Brooklyn, whatever. We still not fans of New York. From one New York team to another, the Knicks, goodness gracious. Ooh. Ooh. Yo, before they weren't even going to offer the max to Kevin Durant. James Dolan wasn't even going to offer the max to Kevin Durant, and he didn't even bother having an interview with them. It's like, what are y'all doing?
They're the Knicks. They don't even know what they're doing. Like, just the way I say, like what they say, organization. You can tell how organization is ran from the top down when you meet like the president or CEO or whatever, and he's a prime example of what you don't want your organization to be.
Yeah, toxic. He's just toxic. And the thing is, they have talent. They have some talented players, but the toxic, it starts from the top down. It's like,
especially when you're like you go to the games, but you're like light years away. You know what I mean? The knowledge, you're out of touch with the game. You're oblivious to what's going on. What ex-professional athletes are saying on TV, like analysts, like if anything, you should at least watch ESPN to find out what you might want to do.
Or read an article.
Yeah, like read something, because he doesn't seem like he's that educated about the business of basketball. Maybe business in life, but not the business of basketball.
He threw Charles Barkley out of the Garden. I said Charles Barkley. Charles Oakley. He threw Charles Oakley out of the Garden. And Knicks fans love Charles Oakley, and for him to do that, it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that to one of a fan favorite, nobody's gonna want to deal with that. And then you want to ban fans for telling you to sell the team, which they're not wrong. But come on. And then they had this whole idea sold that they were gonna get Zion, then they were gonna get these two. They traded for Porzingis. They cleared up cap space because they thought they were gonna get two superstars. And let me tell you who they got instead: Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, Good pickup, though. Julius Randle, good pickup. Bobby Portis. I just hope Bobby Portis isn't breaking his teammates' jaws like you did that dude over there in Chicago. Taj Gibson, Alfred Payton, Wayne Ellington.
You know what it was? I feel like they assumed rather than knowing. And my mom always says, nobody pays you to think. So they get paid to think. So they should have did more research, to be honest with you. Just because, like, granted, they got some players, but for you to assume you're going to get the #1 pick, like, bro, the lottery's not like 100%.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a lottery.
Yeah.
It's a chance.
It's not like the NFL where the worst team gets the first
Yeah,
pick.
so it's like for you to do all this not knowing that you might, you know what I mean? Like, just you stop assuming.
What do you think, Mac?
Knicks.
So there you go.
We all have that same sentiment. I, for one, is happy, and I take joy in seeing the misery in all these Knicks fans and how they're just, they can't deal with life right now.
I'm still trying to figure out why have Knicks fans ever been that bold, because the Knicks really have never been good. They made the playoffs, but what have you won?
The only memorable thing about the Knicks in the past 25 years is Larry Johnson's questionable 4-point play and Jeff Van Gundy holding on to Alonzo Mourning's legs while him and Larry Johnson were fighting.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Yeah.
I thought it was, yep. I thought it was Mourning and Pat.
No, it was Mourning and Larry Johnson.
It was?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
All right. I know it was Mourning. You know I'm a Heat guy too.
Oh, and the Carmelo sucker punch. Let's not forget that. Carmelo, was he with the Knicks?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't with the Knicks. He was still in Denver.
But he was the guy.
Yeah, it was the Carmelo sucker punch.
So really a bunch of nothing then.
Yeah, pretty much. So
all right.
Sucks for you, Knicks fans. Sorry. James Dolan, sell the team or whatever. I'm gonna go to a game again. Last time I was there, they was ready to jump on me.
You ain't getting in there now. I definitely ain't getting in there. Whatever.
I'm gonna go up in there with a Zion jersey.
I'll go to Brooklyn. Be all right. I'll see the Nets play.
I keep losing my train of thought. D'Angelo Russell, he's on the Warriors. With the sign of Kyrie Irving, the Nets agreed to a sign and trade with the Warriors, and they gave Russell a 4-year, $117 million deal. I thought it was a good pickup for them.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first seen the deal, I was like, what?
Yeah, me too.
It just doesn't look like he fits with them. Just doesn't look like he fits. His personality doesn't look like it fits. Like just him, they're all clean cut.
Yeah.
And he comes in there wild, which I like his style, but it just doesn't look like he fits. But I think he'll do well.
Yeah, I think he'll do well too, especially what we saw him do last season, coming off the year he had, made the All-Star team, was leading the team in score, and he developed a shot. He could.
And too, he grew up a little bit. And playing with Golden State, they got to teach you how to be professional. Because they are very professional.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Patriots of the NBA, it seems like. You don't really hear about getting in trouble. They're all clean for the most part. Well respectful people.
And he's kind of on that border of the light-skinned complexion family. He's kind of
he's kind of distant cousin.
Yeah, he's kind of there with the complexion-wise. So I think he'll mesh well. So
I got married in. But you in there.
Yeah, so complexion-wise, he fits all he got to do is pass it to the light-skinned guys and, you're partially light-skinned.
But do you think the way he plays fits?
From seeing Steph and Clay adjust to Durant the past 3 years, I think they could adjust to him because those two could play off the ball and have him run point.
True, but that was KD they had to adjust to.
Yeah.
You think they want to? It's kind of like you looking up to adjust. Then they're like, I'm not adjusting to this guy down here. Like he's almost at our level, but he's not there yet.
Yeah.
So, that's when ego I think comes into play as well.
But they may not adjust, but they might put him in a situation. They might give him the ball more because Steph could could play off the ball, Clay could play off the ball, and you run pick and rolls with them. Russell, he got that mid-range. He can make the mid-range, and it's like pick your poison. So I think it can. I think it can make it work. Plus, he's mature now.
I hope it does. I like D'Angelo Russell. I think they're all gonna be. I was just curious though, just because his style play, he's kind of ball dominant.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted.
Yeah, definitely. But it helps when you got those guys can shoot because at points they don't need the ball in their hands. They could just run around and make things happen.
I take it.
Also, the Warriors also picked up Willie Cauley-Stein. I
I always liked Willie Cauley-Stein. I just felt like he had to grow into his body, get stronger, just because the way he plays, he needs strength because he's a, you know what I mean, above the rim guy.
Yeah.
Offensive rebounds, putbacks. So he has to be physical, and you go in the jungle down there.
But I think those are the type of bigs that work well in the Golden State system. Because I mean, you could throw lobs to him all the time. He's not really gonna be an offensive threat. He plays defense, so
he doesn't plug up. He doesn't plug up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, we all love Cousins, but he's not that agile, and he plugs up the middle. So you're allowed to help off and things like that. Will Cauley-Stein, you don't know where he is on the offensive end. He might be catching the bang on your neck. Offensive rebound.
Yeah, he's like the prototypical center for this day and age NBA. He could run up the floor. He could cover. He could defend multiple positions. You know, he's coming off a year where he averaged 11 points, 8 rebounds, a couple blocks. Well, not really, like 1 block.
Especially, but with that team too, there's nothing wrong being a garbage man.
At all.
Nothing wrong with that at all, because that's what they need.
Yeah, he could literally average probably 14, 16 points just by standing around or just cutting to the rim.
Yeah.
So that was a good pickup. And then also they re-signed Kevon Looney, 3 years, $15 million per $15 million deal. Solid. And then Glenn Robinson Jr. They picked him up as well. So I think they're trying to make up for the guys they lost because they did trade Iguodala to Memphis, and he's gonna. Man,
I knew Iggy was out of there
after that book tour.
After everything, right? He was on ESPN saying he had a fractured leg.
Yeah.
Then he was on, what was it, Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Saying his piece.
Yeah, about Mark Jackson.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I just didn't see him staying after that.
They were saying he was talking like a man who knew he was gonna be gone.
Yeah, like just cause it's kind of hard to go back home after saying stuff like that.
I mean, you got 3 rings.
Yeah, I know he don't care.
Yeah, he don't care. You got 3 rings. You got all that investments over there in Silicon Valley.
Somebody was hot in that office, though. Somebody's tie was getting loosened.
Probably the guy that he said,
Yeah.
I mean, Pride Month's over, right? Yeah, Pride Month's over.
Bro, it ain't never over.
It's not, but it's probably the guy that's affiliated with Pride Month that probably got it.
Hey, I ain't saying nothing. I got pride in myself, my people.
Me too. I love everybody, but hey.
Exactly.
Some of y'all be doing the most. Some of y'all alternative people.
Touche.
Yeah, get it together. The Philadelphia 76ers, people are saying they might be the best team in the East right now. I'm like, So they signed Tobias Harris to a 5-year, $180 million deal. I need to know who his daddy was his agent, so you gotta love your father for that one, because I would not pay Tobias Harris that much money.
His dad is agent?
Yeah.
My dad don't even talk that much. He even order me food. I don't know my agent.
Yeah, my dad wouldn't even say a thing. He'll just sit there and look at you. But shout out to Tobias Harris's pops for getting him that deal, and they also signed Al Horford for 4 years, $109 million. We knew somebody was going to overpay for Al Horford. I didn't know it was going to be Philly, but damn, that just speaks volume to how toxic it was in Boston for him to go to Philly.
Yeah, but sometimes, end of the day, when you look behind you, got your family, your teammates very supporting you, so you got to do what's best for you.
Listen, I'm trying to trick somebody to give me $109 million, to overpay me that much, because Al Horford's up there. He's been there for a while, and
it is crazy though. He went to Philly though, because usually you wouldn't go in the same conference. It seemed like some animosity. That's like an animosity trade, because he did want to get paid, and I felt like the bigs we got are okay, but every time I see him shoot the ball, he knocked it down, especially the 3-ball. His 3-ball was the past couple of years he was on. So at some point, you're gonna give these other clowns money. Why don't you give a man who showed that he could be productive? And in the playoffs, he balls in the playoffs. So
he does. But this is life lesson I'm trying to tell people.
I was never a fan of Horford.
Me either.
Until he came to the Celtics.
I still wasn't a fan when he was on the Celtics, but
I learned to appreciate him.
Yeah. Certain times I learned to appreciate him. There was times I've gone in on him, but Tobias Harris, That was a solid move for them. They needed him. I thought they were gonna keep Jimmy Butler. We'll talk about it in a second, but that was a good pickup for them. I think he balances everything out. Granted, they lost J.J. Redick as well, but I think Tobias Harris, 6'8" guy, put the ball on the floor. He could shoot. He could make wide open shots. And when you're 6'10", 6'11", point forward still refuses to shoot the ball, you're gonna need somebody to do that.
I was gonna say, yeah, they had to sign him because Ben Simmons just doesn't want to be an offensive threat outside the paint.
Yeah, at all. Speaking of Ben Simmons, he's getting a 5-year. He was offered a 5-year, $168 million extension with Philly. He's most likely going to sign it. It's going to total out to be like 170. So they've got all their key players locked in for a couple years now. So
did they have to give him an extension this year, or could they have waited a year?
They could have waited.
See if they got a jump shot, because how much are you going to pay for layups?
Apparently, they want to pay a lot for
you
layups.
Don't make many free throws,
yeah.
So you pay for layups. Like, layups shouldn't cost that much.
Yeah, Embiid he's still locked down for a couple other years because he signed that $150 million deal a couple years ago. He's still on that.
He don't shoot just layups.
Yeah, he actually gets out there.
Yeah, he shoots threes. They cost a lot of money. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, threes and jumpers, they cost, but layups, it needs to be free. Like, what? At least $2-3 layup. Get out of here.
Yeah, it makes no sense either, especially when you're 6'11" and the people that are covering you are you got 5, 6, 7 inches on them. Just rise up and shoot over them. But
they need to change. They need to price these plays based off the shots they shoot and due to position. Position with shots you shoot determine how you get paid. Mm-hmm.
Well, how much you pay for just layups then?
I don't know, bro, but he ain't gonna be getting what he getting now. I tell you that. You gonna cut that in like half, at least.
I'll give him like $10 million just for the layups.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta do the math. I need to, have a calculator and computer in front of me.
Well, I'm looking at all these other guys.
You got a computer in front of you, so.
Looking at these guys that can't shoot, get all these deals, but yeah.
We gotta change the whole system. That's what it is.
Well, I'm still trying to trick somebody into giving me 100 and overpaying me that much for doing minimal work, because
he's gonna make a lot of layups.
Apparently, make a lot of layups and throw the ball to Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
that's serious. Jimmy Butler, he's going to the Miami Heat. He looks like he's gonna be the face of the franchise now. They traded Josh Richardson. I didn't know he was on that team.
Yeah, he was on it.
I didn't know. So Jimmy Butler with a bunch of young players. I don't know how this is gonna go.
Man, I think Jimmy's just happy to be the vocal point of the team. It's because you always want to be the man. And once again, another hot act to follow. That's a Hall of Fame act to follow.
Yeah.
It's like the next Captain America. So, good luck. He's gonna get some love, but I hope he doesn't think he's gonna be the next D-Wade.
Nah. But they do have some talent. I was watching their summer league, and my man Tyler Hero was knocking them things down. The first game, he had like 5 threes. He was getting busy. They unloaded a few players, but they're like a playoff team right now. Not a championship team, but they're a playoff team, because I don't know how much winning you're gonna be doing with Myers Leonard as your big man.
What happened with Whiteside?
He's going to Portland.
Oh, man.
Whiteside. But if you look at this roster, they got some talent. Bam Adebayo.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Bam's still there.
He's still there. Dragic is. Udonis Haslem's still there. Derrick Jones Jr., athlete. Rodney McGrew, he's gone. Kelly Olynyk. Duncan Robinson.
You sure they're a playoff team? The way you're naming these people?
Dion Waiters.
I've always been a Waiters
Justice
fan.
Winslow.
I mean, they got some. They probably fighting for like the back end of the playoffs.
They look like a 30-win team right now.
Actually, yeah, I don't. Yeah, the names you listed were kind of tough for me to imagine them making it, but East.
Yeah, that's their benefit. They're playing in the Eastern Conference, and you know how much the Eastern Conference is a dumpster fire.
You and this dumpster fire.
It's
like the worst fire.
It is.
It's all steak.
Yeah, it is. Yo, I haven't even been following the rundown.
It's all right.
The Indiana Pacers this is a team that we gotta watch out. They might they got a chance to come out the East next year. That with the signing of Malcolm Brogdon and Jeremy Lamb, they picked up some good pieces because they lost Bogdanovich. We'll talk about him in a second. But Brogdon and Victor Oladipo, that's a pretty tough backcourt.
Is Victor gonna be back?
What did he hurt? Did he tear his ACL?
I think it was. Or some knee type of ligament.
I don't know if he'll be back.
And, he was super explosive. So when explosive guys have knee injuries, it takes them like a year or two to get back to it.
But a benefit for him, he did develop a jump shot.
Yeah, that's true.
So that works for him. But if he does come back, we'll probably see him in probably January, February, after the All-Star break.
Then you said they got Jeremy Lamb?
Jeremy Lamb, yeah.
Jeremy Lamb, I mean, he's came into his own. He's figured the NBA game out.
Definitely.
Game winners, been more efficient, consistent.
Yeah.
I've always liked Jeremy Lamb.
Yeah, he's got an NBA game, too, because he's a guy that can move around. He can make the open shots, athletic. So there was no reason for him not to. And he went to UConn, so.
I feel like he was always just too laid back. The NBA game, he had to get that dog, develop that dog, and figure it out.
But
what's
85?
Rating outside?
I don't know.
Holding over Final Destination.
Right? But this contract for Brogdon, $85 million?
I mean, he's proven. He showed that he could ball. He played with the Bucks last year. Number one seed in the East. Yeah. And he was part of that.
But these contracts in the NBA, oh man, this is like the best time to be in the NBA because you're going to get overpaid.
I mean, I feel like it's the best thing to be anything when it comes to entertainment. Yeah. The money's different. Money's worth more, I feel now. Mm-hmm. Kids is getting more money. Rappers are getting more money compared to rappers that should have got paid. Yeah. Athletes now getting paid the way some athletes should have got paid. Yeah. So, it's all just what's the reparations for athletes, you can say. Athletic reparations?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say.
Because now that I feel like the owners and stuff, they're not taking so much more money. The players are actually getting what they deserve.
Plus, football's the only one that's backwards. Football is the only one that doesn't value their players. They're the only league that they will do their damnness not to pay their players. And every other league, everybody's getting paid.
You heard what some owners say, man. Can't be having the criminals run to jail or something like that, right? Yeah. So, they're still...
I think that owner died, though. Too.
I mean, generations have to go to change the way how the world thinks. So,
Yeah, there's woo.
He was old. It's unfortunate,
Yeah.
R.I.P. whoever he is.
I think. I'm not sure. I
mean, somebody in the generation probably passed. So R.I.P. whoever passed.
Yeah, those folks that are born in the 1920s and 30s and.
My girl born 1927. So she walking to the exit. She ain't there yet though. That's my girl. That's my girl though. You know what I mean? You can't stop aging, man.
Oh my goodness, yo, we are gonna get canceled. Oh my god. I would just go to the Jazz because I think the Jazz might be an NBA chair. They might be sneakily heading to the NBA Finals next season off the moves they've been making. So they got Bojan Bogdanović. They traded for Connolly Jr. They just added Jeff Green and Emmanuel Mudiay. They got the Frenchman. So they got a nice squad. They have a nice squad.
I could see them maybe finishing like third in the West.
Yeah, they can finish third, but
third, fourth.
But what they're doing is they're putting veterans around Donovan Mitchell because they saw how his game kind of took a backseat last year. So they're putting veterans around him, and this Quinn Snyder, he's proven he's a good coach too. So they putting together a good roster of players.
They got some guys, but like other than Donovan Mitchell on the offensive side, like do you have any other killers out there?
Bogdanović,
cool. He's cool, but I feel like he's more of a third option.
Well, yeah, maybe, but I like what they did. Joel Ingles as well. He's still there. Ingles is still.
It's just hard for me to watch the Jazz too. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, I didn't say I was gonna watch them. No, I'm not gonna watch them. No.
Yeah, it's just. And you said finals. I'm like, I'm trying to think.
Just because the whole landscape of the West and how it's wide open for anybody.
It is.
I think that they have a chance right now to be one of the best best teams out there in the West. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, these were some good pickups for them because they got some guys that can make open shots, guys that can play defense, and this guy Tony Bradley. I don't know if you've watched him in the summer league. He's improved from last year.
Tony Bradley from
North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
This is like he was shelved last year.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen him in the summer league.
Yeah, I watched he's actually talk about improvement.
One thing about summer league though, they need to get with the replay guys. Like I get it, it's not the regular season, but can we see some replays after the dunks? Like
right.
They don't even show the moves. They might show some whack foul, but they won't show somebody getting dunked on. I don't get it.
I think they got the rookies in the production.
Well, you need to get them interns out of there. Get at least one head in there or something. Like, come on.
You would think, right?
Just one guy in there that does the regular season.
Yeah.
Well, switch them out.
Or maybe they want to make it go smoothly.
Man, I'm touching the replays, bro. You're missing all these dunks and moves. Like, come on, man.
Another team that I think may make the playoffs is the Pelicans. They may make the playoffs off the moves they just made. They recently signed Darius Miller to a 2-year, $14 million deal. Then they signed J.J. Redick. Doesn't hurt to have a shooter like that. They're putting shooters around Zion, and I think this is a big move. They may not make the playoffs, but they're going to be an exciting team to watch next season.
I definitely will go with B, the exciting team to watch next season, just because for some reason I feel like I want to say fans get hypnotized by the youth. You know what I mean? The names on the back of some of these players, and totally forgetting like you got these 10, 15-year vets that were these guys before these guys got here.
Yeah.
That know how to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, they're going to be great to watch, but in the fourth quarter, they're probably going to blow it just because they haven't learned how to win yet.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
You know what I mean?
Let me read off the age of some of these players. Let me read the age of some of these players for you. 20, 21, 29, 24, 23, 28, 22, 24, 19, 29, 21, 21, 23, 20, 28, 29, 30, 23, 35, 24, 18, 23.
Now, question, is any of them people in their late 20s and 30s, like
there's
stellar players or elite or even starters?
Role players.
See, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like, who's gonna really teach you how to win yet? You know what I mean? It's tough. Like they're gonna get some wins just because they're professional athletes.
Yeah.
But you need at least one guy that knows what's going on.
But the young guy, they're kind of a little Duke heavy too. Brandon Ingram and J.J. Redick, Jahlil Okafor. Like, geez.
I mean, Coach K, Team USA, he might, a little pipeline.
Sketchy ass Coach K. But I think the Pelicans, they definitely made some solid moves in the offseason and in the draft because this guy, I know everybody's talking about Zion, but I think Jackson Hayes was actually a good pickup for them in the draft. A nice, big, athletic, he can run up and down the court. We'll see how he develops in the league because he's gonna get bodied. But
yeah, I mean they got a lot of guys that flew under the radar in this year's draft just because Zion was the draft.
Yeah.
So let's be honest.
Frank Jackson still. Who's Frank Jackson? Oh,
the guy from Duke.
He had made the league.
Yeah, he's been there. He came out as a freshman. He's not bad though. He's not bad. You'll like him better than Quinn Cook. Next subject. Quinn Cook plays more, but I know like the type of players you would like him more.
Yeah, no, Quinn Cook. That dude thinks he's. Whew, yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna say I could take Quinn Cook, but I'm just saying Quinn Cook is. I'll give him a run for his money. The Mavericks, they're another team that's been making some moves in the offseason. They signed Porzingis to a long-term deal, 5-year deal, over $100 million. And they brought back Seth Curry for a 4-year, $32 million deal. You put some shooters around Luka and you got a nice little squad there.
I think they're going to be all right. Sometimes I forget about the Dallas Mavericks. Just because out of the teams in Texas, they're just not the team you gravitate towards.
It's because they're in Texas.
But, I mean, we like Houston. We like San Antonio. Growing up, I didn't care for San Antonio, but I learned to appreciate Pop. That's what it really is. But they're going to be fine. Yeah, Lucas, he's going to have a great sophomore season, I think.
He might make All-Star his second year. Coming off 21 points per game as a rookie. Now you got more talent around you. You could do more, and show more of your game.
And he knows the game now. He was learning the rules, learning what he could and couldn't do, what he couldn't get away with. So, yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think Dallas is going to be all right. They'll be the playoffs next year.
Yeah. Also, they signed Boban to a 2-year deal. I mean, Boban got killed in John Wick, but, I mean... I don't know if you saw the way oh man.
Is that the third one?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Man, the way he went out, man.
I'm going to check it, though.
Man.
You know, John Wick's my dude.
He just looked weird, though. You know, you that big. You just, you don't look, nothing looks right.
Oh, you talking about a black dude, a light-skinned dude, white dude?
Yeah, the dude that's always dancing with Tobias Harris.
Oh, the guy that kind of looks like, I'm not going to say who he looks like, 'cause I don't see nothing.
Oh, my bad.
He showed me jerseys.
Oops.
He's like 7. He's like 7.
Yeah, he's like 7'7".
He look like George Morris song, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying my hardest to give him a decent.
There you go.
All right, yeah. I didn't want Conwell. Was actually gonna call him. So George Marison, I'll say it. Yes, I'll give him.
George,
I was gonna hurt that man's feelings by accident.
Yeah, so they signed him. So.
Yeah, I'm glad he's that. Yeah.
All right, talk about some other guys getting overpaid. The Milwaukee Bucks guys signed Chris Middleton, like a 4-year, 4 or 5 year deal, $178 million deal. And then they signed Brook Lopez as well. They got both the Lopez brothers on their team now. They signed the other one too. So you got 2 goofies on your team now.
It might be all right down low. I don't think they're gonna play at the same time. You think?
Nah.
They might do like Stanford back in the day.
Maybe. I mean, well, you know, Brook is like a 3-point sniper now, so
Yeah.
so they might play each other at the same time on the floor, but
Once again, some of these players are getting paid for some players that should have got paid in the past.
yeah, definitely. $178 million for Middleton and $52 for Lopez. So they lost Brogdon, but they signed Wesley Matthews. I don't know how big of a fan of Wesley Matthews you are.
I thought Wesley was cool, but I thought he was just a shooter.
Yeah, he is.
So you replace Brogdon with a shooter. Brogdon handled the ball. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they think this is their best chance from losing him. Maybe they could get over the hump now because they still don't know what Kawhi is doing up there in Toronto.
Who's their backup point?
I don't know. They released George Hill. So, yeah.
They don't even have a point guard?
No.
They'll find one. They'll get somebody.
Maybe.
Somebody just started.
Yeah. There's plenty on the floor. You know, there's plenty of free agents left too. They got a plethora of point guards to pick. I like that word, plethora. All right, the Magics, Orlando Magic, they re-signed Nikola Vucevic, and they signed Al-Farouq Aminu to a deal. Now, I mean, the Magic might just be the same. They might be in the same situation that they were last year. They'll be an 8 seed. Oh, Michael Carter-Williams is going to re-sign with them too on a 1-year deal. But Vucevic is nice. He's just, he's a big fish in a little pond. And, you're not going to recognize the number he puts up just because it's Orlando. And
I mean, you said his name. I had to go through my head for all the bitches there. You know what I mean? The bitches. Yes, with a V.
Bitch better have my money.
That are in the NBA, so you had to go for a second. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna be all right. Just certain teams, they're kind of in a standstill right now. They're trying to get better. They just don't have either the money or they just don't have the personnel to get over the hump.
Or the culture.
That too.
At all. I mean, 4-year, $100 million in Florida could do a lot, especially with no state taxes there. But everything else is like, come on now. I mean, maybe Mo Bamba will have a breakout year next year. They got Markelle Fultz still on that team.
I'll be honest, there really isn't much to talk about.
Yeah.
With Orlando.
No, there isn't. Timofey Mozgov is still on that team. Mozgov is still in the NBA.
Yeah, I forgot about him as well.
Me too.
It's with Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross, I believe he re-signed. He resigned.
They got some hope. Terrence Ross is all right.
Well, the Magic, they're just going to be a playoff team. Maybe. They're a borderline playoff team. Maybe they could get out the first round, but there's no, looking at this roster, there's no championship written on them at all. They probably lose to a WNBA team.
Whoa.
This.
You harsh.
I know. I'm sorry. That was a little harsh, but whatever. I don't care. The Clippers have re-signed Patrick Beverley to a new deal and bring back, let's say, run it back. They're glad KD's gone, so he ain't got to drop 50 on them again. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Patrick Beverley looked like he just straight off the block.
Yeah.
He just straight off came off the block.
I did see him on TV yesterday. He looked a lot better than what he looked like in that picture. I'll give him that. He cleaned up all right. Well, you know, like some people just got that look like he's always a grinder. So, you know.
Yeah, he
I pride myself on being pretty. I don't know about, you know, all that rough, rugged, big beard nonsense. I can't even grow it, so.
Patrick Beverley looked like he cracks the beer cans on his head after he finished drinking them.
I can see him crush a couple cores.
A couple cores. Smoking backwards with the kids.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I think he looked like he pulls up to the park just like, I got next, and nobody says a thing.
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. He probably does do that to this day.
But 3 years, $40 million with the Clippers. It's a good one. Him and Lou Williams, they play. One thing you can say about him, he plays hard. He does play hard, especially, you know, all the things he went through just to get into the NBA. Is you know, you're never going to question the effort with him.
You just can't go out with Lou Will.
Nah,
always going to be an awkward date.
Nah.
You and your girl, him and his ladies.
Well, you might be the fourth wheel if he ain't got your girl with you.
Yeah. You always a fourth wheel with Lou Will.
Unless he's willing to share, I doubt that.
Nah.
Double fisted champ. He's a double fist champ. Ooh. We're getting off track again. The Kings. Another player that got overpaid, Harrison Barnes. I need to know who his agent is.
He be skipping from town to town getting checks, huh?
Legit.
Getting bread.
But yeah, I need to know who his agent is because he be coming up. He's staying with the Kings. Him and Corey Joseph signed with the Kings. The Kings gave him $85 million. That ain't bad compared to some of these other people that are getting $100 million, but you know, at least he got a ring at least. But $85 million. Corey Joseph, $37 million, and good pickup for them to go with those the young talent because the team is De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield, and I didn't know Marvin Bagley was killing last season.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Mm-hmm. I didn't watch much of the Kings.
They were kind of hard to get a hold of just because then nobody wants to put them on TV. Mm-hmm. So the times they were on TV, I'll check them out. Yeah, he was doing his thing.
Harry Giles as well. That was a dude that got hurt when he was at Duke, right?
Man, he got hurt like twice. I think he tore both his ACLs in high school. And then he hurt his knee in college, his knee or back in college. So he after his freshman year, he dipped to the draft just because, you know, you don't know how long your body's going to hold up for you. So I would just try to get that bread. And it's been working out for him.
Yeah, it's worked. Yeah, he had. I watched some highlights from last season. He definitely had some moments. He played 58 games last season. Wasn't too bad.
Plus, too, when you go to the NBA, you have some of the best positions, you know what I mean, in medicine around. So that's probably why he's allowed to be even more healthy.
Bruh, some of these guys. Ben McLemore's still in the league?
I did not know that.
Whew, man. Some of these guys I thought were out of the league already, but yeah, the Kings maybe they'll no, they're not. They're still too young. They'll probably be exciting to watch, but I don't think they'll.
I mean, they were exciting to watch last year.
Yeah.
I thought weren't they close to making the playoffs?
I think. So,
you know, who knows what could happen, especially when you said the West is wide open. Yeah. You don't know what could happen in upcoming months.
Okay. Let's go to Athletes Corner because we've been talking a whole lot. So we're going to go to Athletes Corner. Go to Athletes Corner, Pedro. All right, guys, we are here on location for another edition of Athletes Corner. We're here in Salem for the P2P League, Summer League. This has been going on for some I don't know how many years. This has been
3 years. 3 years. 3 years.
3 years?
This is the third year doing it.
This is your third year doing it, but there was like some other leagues before.
Yeah, it was about 15 years ago, and then there was one called the Mentors League, which they're gonna start running up again, but they didn't do it last year, but they've been running for 6 years also.
Out there for 6 years. Now you're running this one.
For now, yeah. For future. For the future, until I get out of here.
Yeah, you got this one going on with the high school kids, middle school kids too? Or?
We technically we do 15 and 19, but there's so many kids out here from middle school with so much talent that we accept them all.
Yeah,
if they want a ball, they want a ball.
Yeah, just talk about this league. You just got a whole lot of talent coming in here for the summertime.
So this is the third year we've done this. My whole goal with this league was to get kids out the hood, basically during the summertime. About 3 years ago when I started, there was a big epidemic on heroin out here. So my goal was to get all these kids to be in the park so we could all supervise them. And at least we know they were going to be in a place and not outside either gangbanging, selling drugs, doing drugs, stuff of that nature. So P2P means props to pops, which is basically all the coaches, the referees are more of a mentor, father figure to these kids out here. So this is our third year doing it. Hopefully it's going to continue more and more. That's the goal. The previous 2 years, we only had 6 teams. So this year we have had 10 teams because there's a lot of kids that want to play, showcase their talent.
Now where are all the teams located? I know you got some from different cities.
Friday alone we did season opener. We had 17 different high schools that were associated with the league. We got kids from as far as South Weymouth, Brockton. We had the whole Lawrence High School came down here. We have Boston, Peabody, Beverly, all the North Shore area, basically. So we well represented. So we're trying our best out here. Yeah, let's talk about it because some of the other kids they play AAU as well and stuff. Just talk about them just doing this as well as with the AAU schedules that they got going on, but just for them to just come along and play in this league as well. Well, AAU, honestly, I love AAU. I mean, you guys mess up my schedules, but it's good though because the kids I've had a couple of kids that have come up to me with the experience they're getting here, once they get to AAU, there's like the competition. I'm not trying to insult the competition in AAU, but once they have so much competition here, and once they go over there, they're like there's a whole different element. They feel more comfortable playing against top-notch talent.
Yeah, also it's because there's so many kids here and they play so many games, so it's kind of like this is kind of almost close to practice as well. Exactly. And then when they get out there, it's easier.
Right, exactly. So once they're here, they know all right, we're messing with talent. So once they get to AAU, it's like all right, we can handle this. Yeah. So this is more of a, I don't want to insult my league. This is like, JV varsity, but this is like the JV and the AAU is the varsity. But it gets them prepared. This is the training camp.
Hey, they got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly.
You can't just go straight to varsity unless you're like some type of protege.
So this is the training camp. AAU, cut the check.
Yeah, cut the check, AAU. Give that man a check. Talk about Salem in general, because you guys have a good basketball history, just bringing out talent, pouring out talent in the basketball. As far as Salem High, always being competitive and stuff. Just talk about just getting some of those local talents around this area just to come in.
So yeah, back then we had a lot of talent, and then these parties used to be packed with so much talent we had back in the days. We had Scooney Penn, Rick Brunson, like people that went off to the NBA, great talent. But then that died off a little bit. So now we're having we're bringing it back. We want to make sure that the talent is showcased, because I feel like compared to other cities, we really don't get the recognition because, let's say like in Lynn, they got so many high schools. Salem is only one school, well technically 2 now.
But Salem Academy?
Right, yeah. So they have talent, but they're not really looked at as that because there's only 2 schools. So I'm trying to bring, one of the goals too was to showcase the Salem talent, but now word has spread the third year of doing this that we accept them all. Bring them all.
Yeah, cause that's good too, because once people get word of it, people from different cities like Boston and stuff, then they're gonna want to bring their kids out here just to.
Yeah, the word is spreading so much that this year alone I felt bad. Like I said, we increased from 6 to 10 teams, and we left out at least 37 kids without a team. So if I have more chances of creating more teams, I would, but I'm capped right now.
Yeah, right now. So it's just grow. As you said, you're gonna grow it.
Exactly. God willing, we're gonna continue growing this.
Make it bigger. So today, what we got today? Who we got playing today?
So today we got one team called Supreme, which is the purple team, and Benny Hills, which is the orange team. Okay. We got a couple of kids well, I can see Gloucester, Manchester, Salem High.
Okay.
We got a couple of state champs on the other side, on the other bench.
You got some big kids.
They got, man, I wish I was in high school. These kids do not look like that. These kids look like grown men.
You right?
I don't remember ever being there.
Yeah, me either.
Well,
Me either. You see
God
how-
forgot to give me our height, you know?
Right? I got my mom's genes, so I got her height.
Me too, man. I'm only 5'6" on a good day, so it's, you know, so yeah, I was blessed with it, but
So you guys kicked off this weekend. You guys kicked off on Saturday.
technically we're supposed to do Saturday,
Yeah,
but then
we picked up
Mother Nature messed us up, so we had 3 games on Friday.
Friday.
So then today we have one, and Wednesday we have the championship rematch.
Okay.
On Wednesday, so you know they want the day for themselves only. So we're gonna do that for them on Wednesday.
Yeah, talk about the schedule. What is the schedule like for this year?
Thursday through Saturday, if Mother Nature cooperates. Thursday through Friday, 6 to 8,
Yep.
and then Saturdays 3 to 6.
The Saturdays, 3 to 6.
And then if there's any rain, we try to schedule around days during the week.
Okay,
So we in communication with Parks and Rec. They've been great,
Yep.
helping us out. So
Yeah, and lastly, talk about the community support for this league. You know, it's good. It's a good thing to have in the summertime for the kids, and also it's good to have the community behind it.
right.
So
well, today you can't really see, but my grandmother ain't here. But we have we encourage families to come out here and support these kids, and because, like I said, we've been dealt with so much hardships the last 3 years out here that they see that and they like. Families, the grown folks, they all want to come and support. They've helped out. I had some sponsorships, a couple of teams from older folks. Like they want to see these kids out of there because they see what happens in the summertime. This is crazy out here.
Yeah.
So we definitely have the neighborhoods back. Everybody supports us, so which is great.
And can you talk about just this area specifically? This area right here. I know this area used to have a little
We have bad history. This
reputation,
point,
bad reputation, but now it's you know.
it's much calmed down. A couple of years back, whenever you mentioned the Point area and Salem, people will go crazy. Be like, oh, I'm not sending my kid over there.
Yep.
I mean, not for nothing. We have all types of kids here now. It's definitely changed. The community has done a great, the Salem Police Department, our mayor, she's done a lot of great stuff to keep these streets safer. So definitely, this was a bad rap. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a lot of drugs involved, a lot of selling drugs.
You know, I'm from Lynn, so we know.
Exactly.
You know.
So yeah, it was bad. The Point area, you would say the Point area, it was so bad at the point that there's some restaurants you show a whole map, and once they get to the Point area, it's blocked off. Basically, enter at your own risk. People don't want to enter that, but now it's so different now. It's great though, but they're definitely cleaning it up.
Yeah, you guys are definitely doing a good thing here. I'm glad.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna check out the game. You know,
Yeah, it should be a good one today.
Get some nice footage of these athletes here, man.
Awesome, I appreciate that.
But thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Anytime. Thank you for having me, man.
All right,
Appreciate
you
it.
guys been watching Athletes Corner. We on location in Salem.
Take
All
care,
right,
guys.
Take care. All right, we got to wrap this up. We are closed. We won't be here next week, so we'll be back. New episode in 2 weeks. So next week, no new episode. So we'll be back in a couple weeks. This guy, he has his shirt on now. I think the shirt's coming off again. He came up in here. He looked like he got mugged.
Oh my God, it's hot. Hot.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. Go enjoy the fireworks. Be safe out there, all right? Get your drink on too if you guys.